external circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Joseph, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Joseph.
Welcome back to Rock My Finances. Today we have a great topic, money and anxiety. So today we're going to say, how do we know what's happening? What do we think? And what we think about money is often not what we feel about money. But is it real? Is the anxiety that we are feeling, is that true reality when it comes to your actual money, your actual zeros, your actual capability of making money, saving money, having money for the rest of your life? Or is it the fear talking, or is it reality talking? So let's dive right in. Are you ready? I think we all can relate that we have a constant humming in the background. And I feel like myself, I have always lived with that. So I'm so used to it, between relationships in high school and hormones and being raised in a dysfunctional childhood home. Like there's always like a little knot in my stomach. We might even have some pressure in our chest. We might even have just the shoulders up to our ears at all times and not even realizing that our shoulders are supposed to be back and down. And relax. I mean, just look at the energy, the way I'm speaking. When I talk really fast, I feel like that's the way I'm supposed to get the words out. And I want to make sure that I have enough to say so that you all can hear me versus, hey, welcome to Rock My Finances. Just the way I speak could be creating anxiety in some of the listeners. So being responsible for our emotions coming into any place in any relationship is really important. So we want to know if our anxiety is moving forward. Is it fear moving forward? And is it real? That is my big quest today. So here's a few questions to ask yourself. Is money talking in your life reality, or is your anxiety talking? There are some times that anxiety intensifies when we might be in transition, job change, relationship change, stock market change, presidential change, inheritance, family change. Any of these type of transitions, even just inflation, could be changing the way we feel about money, and that raises our anxiety and is coming from fear. Now, we all know that we need to have a good sense of stability. We have to feel safe. A lot of us do not feel safe around money because we don't know what it's going to take to feel safe around it. But I have the answer. Are you ready? Drum roll. It's literally how you feel about money is going to make you safe. It's not about the zeros in your account. It's actually the F word. My favorite, the F word. It's how you feel about money. So we're going to look at all that today. Safety matters. When you feel really good about your money and you feel safe and secure, guess what? More money is going to come. You can actually attract your money and all its friends to come check it out. And there's a lot of people that are so hanging on to money with fists because they're so afraid. Their anxiety and their fear is so scared that they're afraid to spend it. They're afraid to enjoy it. So they might have a good amount of savings, but they're scared all the time. So they have that pit in their stomach all the time. Is this you? Am I talking to you? Is this sound ringing any bells? I think the older we get, we also have more anxiety because we have less time to recover from mistakes that we might have made, or the stock market might have made, or changes in our income we know is going to be happening because we're not always going to work. So anxiety shows up in all these different places, but anxiety comes in as a protection. All it's doing is telling you to take a look at things. Does anybody want to do that by themselves? A lot of people don't want to do that by themselves, which is why I have a job as a money coach, because a lot of people do not want to look at their numbers by themselves. It's scary. And I can say a lot of women that I work with blame themselves. So they have shame and blame around where they're at with their money. So that automatically steps in with anxiety. You might have a relationship that doesn't go well around money. And so there's fighting and arguing. There may be a saver and a spender. And so we don't really want to even bring it up because it brings us so much anxiety. So there's so many things that we can do to calm the anxiety down. So first of all, we want to know what the fear looks like. So we kind of have to name it. We have to like write down the words. And I talk about journaling all the time. I know some people don't like to journal, but make a list if you don't like to journal. Let's see what fear is saying to us. The anxiety is saying to us. Am I going to run out of money? Is that too expensive? I know where I'm at now, we're doing trips and we're doing some things. And some people will say, yes, I really want to do that, but it's too much money. What does that mean? It's too much money. Does that mean you don't have enough? Or does that mean you don't think it's worth the money? Or here's a big one that we don't ever admit. Do you think you're not worth it? Do you think that you're not worth spending that money? That's a big key one right there. We tell ourselves, everybody else has got this money thing down, but me. I should just not do anything if I don't know what the next right step is. So they don't look at their money. They don't know their numbers. They're afraid of it. They don't spend it. They don't save it. They just kind of feel like it's not doing anything. Unfortunately, the fear and the anxiety is so loud in our minds and in our bodies. So we think that that is reality, but it's not reality. That is just the fear and the anxiety speaking. So we want to find out what is reality and what do we really know to be true. Okay, here we go. We want to know what's actually real. How much money do we really have? How much money do we make? How much money do we make either if we're retired on our investments? How much money do we have coming in? So how much money is coming in the household each month or each year? How much money is going out of the household? That's a big question right there. A lot of people think that so much more is going out than it really is. And guess what, y'all? You got control over that. I just did a podcast with Michelle Dickinson, and she was talking about agency over the things you can control. So, agency over the things you control is you get to control what you spend money on. We pick up money at least 10 times a day. We deal with money at least 10 times a day. You have control over that. Now, I know what you're saying. I don't feel like I have control over it. I feel like my money is running me, like I don't have a choice. But in actuality, we do. You don't have to pay for your electricity. You don't have to pay your gas bill. You don't have to go get gas in your car. You don't even have to have a car. You are choosing to do that. And as soon as we realize that's our choice, then we have control over that. We have agency over that. Then we can make better decisions. So we really need to have some introspection with ourselves before we can get in line with our money. I hope all this is making sense for y'all. Okay, so we want to know, is this really real? Can I afford this or not? And what does that mean? Do I have money in savings? Do I have a future planned? Do I have a financial plan? Do I know how much I should spend this year? Do I know how much I'm going to have when I stop working? Having a plan, I know you've all heard this before, but you want to be able to have a plan. Otherwise, you're planning to fail. So it's either fail to plan or plan to fail. So really having a financial plan is huge to help with this anxiety. Then we want to know, what information am I missing? So are we looking at all of our charges? I don't know about you, but every time I look at a credit card, there is an extra charge on there that I did not make. And they have it so easy for you now to go in to dispute a charge. I just disputed because it's the beginning of the year for me right now. And so I'm always looking at everything consistently over the last last quarter of the year and the first quarter of the year. And so I'm finding so many things and they are crediting me back because they're not real charges and I didn't do them. So we want to know, what information am I missing when I'm looking at things? Is this bill need to be this? Can you call whatever bill it might be and try to lower it? Can we lower our spending? Can we shop at a better store? Can we do coupons? Can we buy in bulk and save money that way? There's so many different ways that we can control how we spend money. And all we really want to know is, what is the next best step? We don't need to know everything. We just want to know maybe 3 steps. But what's the next best step that I can take? You don't have to have all the answers right away. And when we get quiet and we have our money date, which means you have your favorite music on, your candles are lit, you might be out in the backyard if it's summer and the sun's shining on your face, you're enjoying it. You might even go on vacation, go to the beach and do your money date there. Wherever you're at, when you're doing your money date, we want to make sure that we are enjoying ourselves when we're playing with our money, because let's face it, it's a game. All this money stuff is just a game. So that is going to help you take away some of that fear. Fear pushes for avoidance and overreaction. So when fear pops up, we want to not look at our money, not look at our dollars, and we want to overreact with our emotions and get upset or angry. And here's the problem. It's never around our money. How we feel about one thing is how we feel about everything. So if you're fearing your money or you have anxiety around your money, you're going to snap at somebody else in your world. I snap at 800 number people that call me, robocalls or whatever, or if I'm talking to an 800 call, I get mad at them. And I'm like, oh, wait, what am I mad at a freaking phone message for? Oh, because I'm really upset because of this. So I want to always look at my clarity, my agency. What do I have control over? How am I handling my emotions? Because most of the time it's anxiety and fear that's running it and not what's really, really happening. So here's why money anxiety feels so convincing. Anxiety borrows authority from emotion. So anxiety, I know a lot of people are on anxiety pills and all, panic attack and things like that, but it's coming from emotion. And we all think that emotion is real because it's intense. But guess what? We change our thoughts. We can change our emotion. Easy peasy. And here's an example of it. Are you ready? Okay, you're going to play with me all. Guess what? I am handing you a check of $1 million. You just won the lottery and you got $1 million. What are you going to do with that money? What are you going to spend it on? What's the first thing you're going to buy? Now, you're all smiling right now. I know it. And that is so fake. And we all know that. But our emotions don't know that. So guess what? We control our emotions. Now, versus I tell you something very sad. You don't have $1 million. You're never going to have $1 million, whatever that is. Then we can feel our emotions come down. So that shows us that what we hear, what we see, what we say, what we think controls our emotions. So if we can think differently, talk differently, share differently with other people, it will change our emotions. We were just talking about having a morning ritual, having some quiet time to yourself. Instead of getting into your phone and what's happening out there, go inward to see what you are really feeling. So the intense emotion that we're feeling does not mean it's accurate, because you did not win the lottery. And you might have gotten excited. You might be making fun of me. You might be laughing at me a little bit, but you might have got a little bit excited somewhere in your body. And guess what? It's fake news. It is not real. But the words that I say and the things that you heard made you feel something, and that creates emotion. So emotion's not real. We can literally create it ourselves. Okay, a lot of women come to me because they feel danger around their money. They feel anxious. They're afraid that they really don't have control over their life because they don't have control over their money. They have carried this responsibility for so long. They've got that little knot in the stomach, the little pressure in the chest. They think it's It's the way it's supposed to be. They think that everyone feels that way. And that's just the way it is, but it's not. So they really don't do anything until they've experienced a transition or a disruption or a loss or a trauma or something in their life to where they actually have to do something now. They're also tired of uncertainty. I wonder if I'm going to run out of money. I wonder if I'm going to be a bag lady. I had a friend of mine, Stacy, who is a client as well. And we just joked around so much because she was just so afraid of being a bag lady. And so I literally put a picture of a bag lady up on my workshop because that is what so many people are afraid of. They're so afraid of that. And it's nowhere near the truth, but we don't know that because we keep either seeing that, hearing that in the media, seeing it in our family. Somebody might have shamed us in our life. Here's some reasons why you might, as women, feel anxiety more in your life. If you've ever grown up in a conflict-ridden home, like a dysfunctional home, if they ever argued over money in the house, you might associate the instability with your childhood home around money into your life. And you might not even know this, just so you know. So this could cause avoidance of talking about money or even looking at your money or even conversations around money. Growing up with not being able to share your thoughts, your feelings, your words, like kids are seen, not heard, if you grew up in that era, like I did. And when that happens, we're afraid to have our feelings, not only have our feelings, but to say what we're feeling. And then when you bring in money into the situation, when we already feel stupid, we already feel behind the gun, we already feel like we're not doing enough, we're spending too much, we're not making enough, and we don't know any answers to any of this, and we couldn't speak how we felt in childhood, that just exacerbates it even more. So there's even more anxiety. If you've ever experienced abandonment in your childhood or growing up as well, if you've ever been left alone, my parents would go party a lot, and I'm an only child, so I would be alone a lot. And one of my best friends would always come over. We would call the pizza guy. My parents would send the pizza guy over back in the day when they didn't even do that. And I didn't know that I was abandoned because my parents truly loved me, but I was abandoned, right? I had to figure it all out on my own. So if you've ever been left alone a lot and you're afraid of being alone, that could be resulting into hoarding money, into saving lots of money so that you're in control for security, not necessarily spending it or spending it like not spending it forever and then just go blowing it because you need to spend some of it. So there's lots of different reactions that we have around our childhood. Being criticized for not being enough. It ties to our self-worth, which means it ties to our financial success as well. Because if we don't feel like we're good enough, then that's going to possibly give us overstriving, working too hard, perfectionism around money, and then feeling really bad when we either can't control the stock market or spent too money here. All of that gives us our roller coaster around our emotions around money. So it might sound like I can't afford to mess this up. This is what you could be telling yourself if you've experienced any of these dysfunctions. I don't understand why everybody knows what's going on and I don't. Things like that. When all that we really need to do is find out the truth. That's all fear and anxiety speaking. That's not the actual truth. You could be feeling so uncertain about your future that could be bringing up all your anxiety. You've never really truly felt supported in your life. Maybe you didn't feel supported. Maybe your parents had a lot of kids and you were just the middle child and you never really felt supported for being you. Maybe you carried so much responsibility. You were the oldest child and you had to take care of everybody else. That tells your nervous system that you're uncertain. It's time to do a gentle reframe, okay? We want to be able to feel grounded instead of reactive. We want to have a plan and know how we're going to handle things instead of just be reactive to our life. Do you ever feel like you're on stage and you're spinning just a bunch of plates and then you run over to this plate because this child's speaking louder, or this one's wrong with this, or your parents got this going, or their job, the boss is yelling at you more here, or your relationship's causing more trouble. And we're just running around spinning all these plates. So overwhelming, right? And it's not good for our body. So there's a lot of things that we can do because that will bring shame to us because we don't feel like we're doing it all right, better, best, whatever it might be. And all this ties into your money. I know you don't know it, but it does. I promise you. Freedom comes from your relationship with money, not the zeros. I have multimillionaires that have plenty of zeros and still would have anxiety or still be afraid around their money. So it's not about the zeros. It's literally about your relationship. So let's look at that. How can we do this? Well, let's shift from fear to love. Let's shift from fear to something to do. First of all, we're going to gather the facts. We're going to gather all the numbers. How much do we spend? How much do we make? Where is our money really, really going? Just that, I promise you, will change your life. Just look back at the last 30, 60, 90 days and see where it's at. Ask deeper questions. Do I really need that? Does that really have to cost that way? Can I challenge that? And let's create some visibility. Let's create moving forward. Next month, I'm going to do this. Next month, I'm going to do that. I have so many more tips for you. Right now, I'm going to share something with you and I'm going to give you a gift. So I want you to come right back, but I've got some really good tips that we're going to wrap all this up in a bow for you, okay? So y'all come back now, you hear?
Wait, the show isn't over yet. There's more fun and finances ahead. Jennifer will be right back as we have a special bonus offer for you right here on Rock My Finances, broadcasting live on K4HD Radio and Talk 4 TV.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer Jost. Are you ready to transform your relationship with money? Rock My Finances Club is your weekly mastermind for wealth empowerment. Join me live for your personal weekly group video sessions and access your personal portal with the video library at any time, including your success system and way more bonuses. Go to rockmf.com for your financial empowerment. Make yourself a priority today. Schedule a chat with me at rockmf.com and achieve your feminine financial freedom finally. Oh, and don't forget to ask me how to save 50%. See you at our weekly mastermind.
Okay, Rock My Finances on K4HD and Talk 4 TV is back. Once again, let's put the fun in finance with your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Jost.
All right, welcome back. We're going to dive into some tips right now to get out of fear and anxiety and step into calm, clarity, and control over your money. Number one, I know you think it's crazy, but we want to practice slowing down. We want to deep breathe. We do box breathing. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. That's one easy. There's so many different breath works that you can look up and just deep breaths. I had to set an alarm on my phone every hour to take a deep breath. Feels so good, right? We're going to use some grounding techniques. Go out and touch the ground every morning when you wake up. I put my feet in the soil every morning when I wake up and I look at the sun or where the sun should or could be, right? And I take 3 deep breaths and say, okay, I'm ready. Set your intention for the day. Move your body. Somehow we have to move our body somehow, some way. I love 3 songs, dancing, using your arms and your legs and dancing for 3 songs. How's that for some homework, right? Okay. We want to be able to connect with people that we trust. You don't have to share anything vulnerable if you can't handle it, but a great vulnerable story to someone makes you feel more vulnerable and connected. So then you feel like you're supported. Just saying. We want some routines. We need a morning routine. We need an evening routine, and we need to make sleep a priority. We just talked about that with Michelle Dickinson as well. So morning routines could be simple as journal for 5 minutes, music for 5 minutes, and movement for 5 minutes, and reflection for 5 minutes. If you're already a meditator, that's amazing. Keep that up. We all want to be able to slow down, slow everything down, take deep breaths, Put your hand on your heart, your hand on your belly. Feel your body. Our bodies are amazing. And that's what's more important than the zeros in the bank. Because the more we're grounded, the more everything else is going to come. Pause, reflect, give yourself permission to slow down. Give yourself permission to look around. Give yourself permission to be in the present, not in the bag lady future and not in the crap that I did in the past that screwed everything up, but just right now. Right now, I'm drinking out of my cute pink cup. I'm talking to amazing people, and it's an amazing day. I hope you enjoyed the show today, and I want you to all come back, download, subscribe, tell your friends, all that great stuff. And I want you to be able to walk away and say, hey, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.